I obviously am not the biggest fan of Activision Blizzard or even of Overwatch, but I always think it is so ridiculous when video game journalists will sit here and demand changes in entertainment and then go on to say developers are not doing a good enough job at being inclusive or making their characters diverse enough. And now the gamers saying, "Dear Overwatch, please stop babyifying your female characters." I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, the Access Media has attacked games like this for ever, really. And well, looking at something like Marvel Rivals, they're constantly attacking those character designs because they say they're too attractive, the females are too feminine, the men are too masculine. And now it looks like they are turning on Overwatch as well because they said there was a time when Overwatch felt like the most progressive game in the world. When it first burst onto the scene way back in 2016, it offered a sprawling roster of heroes hailing from a myriad of different countries and cultures. This was also before Blizzard was rocked by an avalanche of controversial scandals and was still viewed as a bastion of good by most gamers. When box art Star Tracer was first revealed to be a canon lesbian character in a Christmas comic, I was over the moon. While it felt like it was wonderful to see characters like Mai and Zarya receiving so much love despite their unconventional body types, which is funny because it was the journalists way back when that were furious over Tracer's butt being shown in a pose. They said that she was objectified, she was being too sexualized, and now they are really back on this train that, ooh, the female characters are quote unquote being babyified, which of course is a really terrible thing to say, and we ultimately know what they are alluding to. We know that the Access Media loves to call us gooners, and they say, oh, you just want to jerk off to characters, and that's why you want them to all be very pretty and beautiful and gorgeous, and they say that you just want to sexualize them because it's like you hate women and you just view women as objects, even though video game characters are objects because they're not real. But now they're going even farther with this. Their praise wore out really quickly because now they're going on about how Overwatch also received justified criticism for unlockable skins sporting specific aesthetics that were viewed as a lazy cultural appropriation, while queer characters seemingly being allergic to discussing their identity within the game itself began to wear fans down as more and more of the cast were revealed to fall under the LGBTQ plus umbrella. Do you know what also would wear fans down? Characters constantly going on and talking about their sexuality time and time and time again. I get that sexuality is a big part of a character's background, but it should not be their defining trait, and these journalists want them to double, triple, and quadruple down on the LGBTQ plus umbrella, and they are demanding that they do better. That these characters, I guess, have like full on relationships in the game, that these characters talk about their relationships. I don't know. It's really weird to me. But now they are saying that Overwatch desperately needs more diverse female characters. Ah, yes, because the diversity of skin color, the diversity of culture, the diversity of height and body types is not enough. Now they need even freaking more. What they really are saying is that the beautiful characters or the feminine looking females should not exist in this game, and that the developers should stop making feminine looking females. It's okay to just straight up say you hate the female form and that you don't want it in games anymore. We already can tell that that's your opinion and that's your stance. They are even insane enough to go ahead and call it misogynistic that the developers decided to go with these designs. They say it's borderline misogynistic to take a female character who once possessed unique features only to outwardly sexualize her appearance with a cutesy face and tighter clothes designed to accentuate her breasts, hips, and behind. It's so unlike the Overwatch that put itself on the map by defying conventions. It's so funny that they say this while ignoring the fact that people like them complain and complain over a Tracer pose where her butt was being accentuated to the point where it was removed by Blizzard because they didn't want the controversy. Clearly, this has always been their intention with their character designs, was to make attractive characters, but you clearly don't know anything about Overwatch. They say even Widowmaker, who is slim and sexy, manages to own that sexuality instead of letting it be used against them. Juno, Kariko, and now Unran fall into the same trap of being adorable and petite East Asian women who sadly aren't very different from one another in terms of design. Not every character needs to do something groundbreaking. You can have 5 female characters who are all in bodysuits, who have guns that are similar, and yet slight design changes make them interesting. We're not even talking about them using the same elemental type of magic or technology. They're all pretty different, but you are the one who is desperate to complain about them, and so you're saying, oh my gosh, it's misogynistic, when nobody else agrees with you. They say one of the new 5 playable heroes revealed this week is Onrin, the older sister of an existing hero. First appearing in her reveal trailer, her facial features appear far blunter and accentuated, hinting towards what many would hope would one day translate into an incredibly distinct new female in the game itself. Rather than building on the mostly positive reception for this initial design, her female appearance is babyified like so many other women in Overwatch's roster. It's like potential was discarded and someone decided to throw Kariko's features onto an entirely new character instead of building something unique. They say that I'm not even naive to the gaming landscape that Overwatch exists in, and have no doubt that an enormous team of people decided that making Onrin conventionally attractive and trying to mimic similar successes seen in characters like Kariko and Juno would have been the best route to take. As a consequence, though, she now feels forgettable. The only person that's going to be forgetting about her is you. And the reason why you put up this entire hit piece is because you are furious that they did not uglyify her, that they did not give her harsher, more masculine features, and that, ooh, they didn't do a better job. I haven't seen anybody complaining about this character's new design. I think that she looks perfectly fine, and really, she does look pretty freaking cool. I think that this is just what their audience wants, and they are giving the audience what they actually desire. They get that there are so many other games like Concords and Highguards that have ugly character designs that are failing, and they say, no, we actually want to make money. Again, which I suppose is good, but it's like they're just threatened by attractive characters, and so they need every character to be as ugly as they are, which is so funny and really so pathetic. Like, you feel so bad about yourself and the way that you look that you are sitting here and saying this isn't good enough. It's like when I talk about ugly character designs, I always say developers are free to make ugly characters. If you want to create Concord looking characters, you go ahead and you do that. Doesn't mean it's a game for me. Doesn't mean I have to buy it. And so we'll see if your audience actually shows up to support you. And well, they generally do not. But this is really alluding to even worse than us just being gooners or chuds, because it's very specific wording saying babyifying your characters, and then in the same article saying, oh, characters are objectified. Yeah, we know what the journo here Jade King is alluding to, which, by the way, is a very interesting angle given they are a transgender individual. Hey, I'm not making any assumptions, but let's go on to the repost by Manga Lawyer, and you can see that Jade King here is getting totally annihilated. What do you expect from a site called The Gamer? And yeah, it's all the flags and rainbows and basically visual vomit. Let me guess, a fat blimp of a man that thinks he's a woman, or a fat blimp of a woman that can't get a man? Doing what journalists wanted made the players not want the product. Now that they are giving what the consumer wants, they're ignoring the journos and they are mad. Babyifying, and it's just making the character look like real women. Yeah, I don't think that these characters look like they're babyified at all whatsoever. They just don't have a crimson chin and they don't have very harsh or masculine looking features. You look at this character and you can tell that she is a woman. The only person here that is babyifying this character or believes this character has been babyified is Jade King. They didn't even use any sort of comment references where people were saying they didn't like the new design or that the new design looked babyified because I don't think that they exist. Uh, Blizzard is trying to bring back gamers after they messed up, and I do actually agree with this. I think that they realize that they are losing a lot of money, especially after the latest Call of Duty did not do good and did not do the numbers they expect. So I think that they are looking at their other titles and they're getting desperate and they're trying to find ways to bring people back in. And sure, cool looking heroes are nice, but you have to do even better. And when Overwatch 2 had released and it was very underwhelming for people, they lost a lot of fans. How on earth do they still have a job and who is this for? The heck is babyifying? I don't need to. They are right. Most of the female cast looks the same. Oh my gosh, they actually have a supporter. That's insane. I will not stop drawing or making attractive characters as an artist. God, is there a single normal game journalist website or do all of them just suck? And this is the unfortunate part of what has happened to the gamers and Kotakus and Polygons is that many years ago, sure, people did take them seriously, but now it has become echo chamber after echo chamber. Really, video games journalism is one massive circle jerk of an echo chamber. They are only hiring like-minded individuals, and well, a lot of them are also getting fired together, which is so freaking hilarious because they're so out of touch with what gamers want that they can no longer hold on to these positions, which I mean, hey, for them is really freaking bad, but at the end of the day, it's not like they can even create a YouTube or their own website because nobody takes them seriously, nobody likes them or respects them, and so their entire like social media presence is just going to fizzle out. And I'm surprised that someone like Jade King has not lost their job over at the gamer. I don't revel in the fact that people are losing their jobs, but at the same time, if you suck so much at your job, you probably do not deserve to have it. And the state of video game journalism is horrendous because of people like Jade King and Nathan Grayson. So, yeah, I will be keeping my eye on this. I haven't seen any backlash being levied towards the female characters in Overwatch, but it's not surprising to see that someone like Jade King would write up this big hit piece when nobody else is bothered by these designs. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.